Don't think because you hang out with somebody, you knew somebody for a long period of time, you was there when they was down and out, that they have to do something for you, right? Don't feel entitled. Don't have any expectations, because 9 times out of 10, when you have expectations on what somebody should do for you or how they should do it, one, you don't know the whole situation, regardless if you there or not. You don't know what that person is going through, and you don't know what's in their head, and you don't know what additional obligations that they have that are not you. Secondly, when you expect something and you're entitled and you feel like you should have and you didn't work for it, you're going to ruin that relationship. You're going to ruin that relationship hands down, because you're going to feel disappointed when somebody don't do something you think they should do for you because of whatever reason, right? Don't have no interior motives in situations. Yo, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? And just because you would do it for them, don't think they will do it for you, because everybody don't think alike and everybody don't show someone they care about them the same way. This goes for friendships, relationships, family members, right? I learned that. It's things that I did for people, and I was like, yo, I know they're going to do it for me if I'm ever in that situation and it didn't happen, and sometimes that relationship ended. And then as I basically got wiser and more mature, I just understood, like, yo, do it from the kindness of my heart. Don't do it to expect something in return down the line, or even say if I was ever in this situation, you would do it for me. Everybody's not the same. You know what I mean? And people care about friendships and deal with friendships differently, right? I would hope somebody would do the same thing for me, and somebody, you know what I'm saying? But they don't have to, you know? And having that conversation with individuals as well. Like, yo, and if you, instead of expecting someone, you can ask them and they can say no. And if they say no, don't feel any kind of way, you know? Having that effective communication and actively listening to individuals and really getting to know people and asking people hypotheticals and just trying to get a sense of understanding of how people think and what makes them tick, especially if somebody you're around, is highly important. I was just speaking to my homegirl about that. We had a long conversation about it. You know what I mean? And she grew as a person, and it was good to see, because I remember she was super defensive. You know what I'm saying? She was just super defensive based upon all the things she'd been through. And now she was like, you know what? I see it. I understand what you're saying. And it's not about her understanding what I'm saying. I was more happy that she was more mature. She was willing to converse and articulate herself and explain why she reacted this way and what she learned from past situations and things of that nature. That was the dope thing about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to my little brother and we having conversations, and it was like, yo, like, he was explaining to me like, yo, man, like, mentally I'm not there right now. Before I even move forward, is how's your mental health, man? How's your mental health? Are you good? You know what I'm saying? Do you got somebody to talk to? If anything is going on, do you have somebody that you could talk to that really care about you? Think about that. Ask yourself that, you know? That's highly important. If somebody look like they're going through something, they are. And a lot of times the individuals who are going through something, they be the ones that can mask it the most. But yeah, I was talking to my little bro and we was just talking, and I was like, yo, listen, man, how you feeling? I feel like that a lot as well. And don't ever think because I don't show it, I don't go through certain things. I just know how to deal with them, how to deal with it, and I internalize it, which is not great. I internalize it for a period of time, and then I have the conversation with those who I can have the conversation with. You know what I mean? And I explained to him, like, yo, if you don't communicate, no one is going to know what you're going through. And even though you expect people to just know or see it, not everyone's going to do that because people have their own things going on in their mind and in their life. That's the thing. No matter what you going through, somebody else is going through their own things as well. Therefore, they may not be making you their number one priority, and they're not wrong for that. They are not wrong for that. But keep in mind, with that being said, be mindful of those things, right? Don't just assume or expect, you know what I mean? Or make people feel obligated. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You will put yourself in a bad situation every time, you know? But my biggest thing is, like, regardless of the situation, I try to have conversations with those around me about various different situations and kind of try to brainstorm and be like, yo, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I was speaking to another one of my homegirls, and we was just talking about relationships, and she was just explaining to me like, yo, I really genuinely give my all in relationships, and no matter how much I give my all, the person I'm dealing with lets me down every time because I think they're someone they're not. And by the time I realize they're not that person, I fell for them, and I'm already in the situation. So I asked her, I said, hey, do you put certain things on them and expect them to be that way? Like sometimes you meet a person and you put them on this pedestal and you created a created player or created partner on how you think they should be. And then when they're not, you're upset. But they never was that person. You just created and put that characteristic on that person for your benefit because that's what you wanted. She was like, yo, bro, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, just look at it. And if you just got out of a relationship, yo, you don't need to keep jumping in and out of relationships. You need time to learn yourself. You need solitude to and isolate yourself from certain situations for a time being. I don't know what that time frame is, but give yourself enough time to regroup and get back on your feet and get your mental state back in order and get your affairs in order. Because jumping in and out of relationships, you don't really get time to digest what happened in the previous one, and you don't really get to fix those things that you should have fixed so you don't take it to the next relationship. You know? Solitude is important. Knowing oneself is important. And before you could give anybody your full attention or your full love or your full affection, you have to love yourself and you have to know your worth, and you need to make sure you have your morals, ethics, and your non-negotiables in order, respectfully. Sometimes non-negotiables for some people just be something individuals can't do because it's just out of control. But you got to figure that out. And it's okay to like somebody, but be friends with them before you date them. Therefore, y'all can know one another and build a real bond and friendship. Because I think it's extremely hard to have a successful relationship if you didn't have a successful friendship with that person. That's just me, though. I don't know what you think, but that's just me. So this is just some food for thought, man. To understand these things. Yo, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you agree with some of the things I say, feel free to comment below, share it with some friends, follow, heart it, whatever it is, whatever you're looking at this on. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you support me. And the best way to support me is if you like what I'm doing or if you rock with what I'm doing, just follow or share it with a friend or share it with a family member and comment below. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your Memorial weekend and all that, man. One. You're